Okay, so I'm teaching 2 workshops at Cues and Tattoos using this new format. So I'll be teaching dance in a way that everyone can learn what it is I'm teaching, and then you'll be able to view the dance from a new perspective. The first workshop I'm teaching is Dancing in the Fourth Dimension, and this is a 3-hour workshop which focuses on isolations. So first we're going to learn and discuss the grammar of the isolations and what it means really to isolate, and with grammatic terminology. So we'll learn the different types of isolations and the different ways we isolate. So for example, we have different regions of the body. So we have the head, we have the shoulders, we have the torso, we have the abdomen, the hips, and the legs, and the arms. So we'll talk about the different regions, the different types, if it's vertical, so if it's like an up and down movement, or if it's horizontal, if it's a side to side movement. And so we'll go over all the different types of isolations that we can do with our body. Then we'll go in and do a little bit of a warm-up and go into drills. So we'll drill some sequences. And we'll talk about what sequences means in the class. So I will present to the class like 1 or 2 sequences, which will vary in the speed, the direction, the region, and all different kinds of things. So for example, we might do like a head slide isolation down to a hip, then to a shoulder, then to a chest. So it'll be like moving all over the place. So it'll be good to get that muscle memory, and it's going to be a good challenge for your brain. So you're going to have to like think, okay, what am I doing now and now? And we'll change the speed. So it'll be like half time, double time, full time, triple time, quadruple time. No, I don't know. And then, after I've presented all the material and we've practiced and kind of get comfortable with the movements, then you, as a student, are going to have to create your own sequences. So we'll decide in the class whether we go into pairs or groups, but then everyone's going to have a chance to really think and create their own isolation sequences, and then we'll present them to the class, and then we'll kind of try each other's creations and see what we can do with what other people have created. So I'm not just going to stand there and tell you to follow me, but there's going to be discussion, there's going to be grammar, there's going to be practicing, and then you're going to be creating too. So it's going to be a great, wonderful learning experience. So the other workshop I'm teaching at Cues and Tattoos is going to be a layering class. So it's more like a layering creation, I like to call it. So if you take the Dancing in the Fourth Dimension and we take the layering class, the 2 classes kind of like coincide and they work very well together. So what we learn in one will be applied in the other. And if you take both of these workshops, it'll cover all the material in enough hours to actually give you a Module 1, Level 1 certification. So if you take both, I will have certificates available to say that you've completed and are aware of the knowledge of everything that's covered in Module 1 in my Learning the Language of Dance certification. So let's go back to the layering class. So the layering is going to be not just me showing you a bunch of layers and, oh, look what I can do, let's see if you can do it. So again, we're going to talk about the grammar of what we're going to be using in the layering class. That way you have like an idea, and we'll have the terminology of everything that I'll be presenting and talking about in the layering class. And once we go over the grammar of the layering, so we'll learn where and how the movements and moves come from, and we'll actually talk about there are different types of layers too. So if we're layering an isolation with a movement, or if we're layering two isolations at the same time, or are we layering two movements at the same time, or if we're layering two moves at the same time, or it could be one move and one movement. So we'll talk all about all of that when we cover the grammar, and we'll learn about the different types of layers that we can do. And then once we have all of that basic background knowledge and we kind of feeling our body and know what we're doing, then we'll practice. So again, I will present a few drills or a few layering so we can practice that as a class. And then, again, like the other class, you will have a chance to create and to experiment and to figure out for yourself how to do these layers. And of course, I'll give you tips and tricks and techniques on how to work through trouble spots. But I haven't coined a name for it yet, but I've created like a deck of cards, but with belly dance moves, movements, isolations, and stuff. So as a class in pairs or in groups, I will be giving out like random cards with a move or a movement, and then you all have to create a layer from using only those moves. And then we'll see how that goes, and then we might let you just create your own layers. And so as a class, we'll have a lot of fun. We're going to experiment, play with the different movements and layers and isolations, and try to do weird combinations and see what is possible that we can do. And I think anything is possible. Anything is possible in dance. So it'll be a great class, a lot of fun, and just be prepared again to use your brain, because a lot of times when we're layering, it's actually best not to think. So if we overthink it, then we're going to be like, ugh, and like freak out and our body's going to freeze. But again, that's part of the learning process. So cues and tattoos, dancing in the fourth dimension and layering. I'm teaching this from a new perspective of dance as a language, and my goal is that you guys as the students really understand and really learn and experiment and produce and walk away from my workshops with a greater knowledge and a new perspective of dance.
Yes.
Okay. So if you went to Cues and Tattoos last year, and you took my classes and you saw me perform, you might have also noticed I was vending. So yes, I am an artist in all aspects. I do create jewelry and art and all kinds of stuff. So last year I brought with me some handmade jewelry that I made out of pieces of metal that I do. Here in Mexico it's called repujado, which basically is like metal embossing. This year I won't have any of the necklaces or earrings that I made, but I will be bringing, I have hair flowers, so for your hair, and I don't have an example with me because I just moved and everything's like a disaster right now. But so it's out of sheets of aluminum material. I cut out each individual petal and I distress them, and I have special paint, so I have different colors of roses. So I make these very lightweight aluminum roses with a little clip so you can put them in your hair. So I'll have some of those with me to sell. I will also have, like I did last year, the tribal earrings for different sizes. So if your ears are expanded, but I also have small ones made from the water buffalo horn, and I have other ones made of bone. So I'll have some tribal earrings, which are at a very affordable price. And also with the metal embossing, I've kind of been focusing more on actual art, so stuff that you can hang on your wall. And I have a few different designs. I don't have one that I made with me, but I have an example that my mother-in-law made. So this one here is actually wrapped in plastic, but it's on a metal frame. And this is like the Virgin Mary here, but it's all like three-dimensional metal embossing which can be hung on a wall. So I'll have some of those with me, but in the style that I'm working on, are kind of like Art Nouveau and I guess you could say like tribal themed pieces. So the designs that I'm doing are kind of stuff that I think people in our community would like. So it's really good, all hand done by me, very beautiful works of art. And I'll also have a couple other goodies. I have, since I just moved, I kind of went through all my costuming. So I have some Melodia pants used and some tops that I haven't used that I will be selling at like a discounted rate. And I'll have some other things, this things and that thing. So it'll kind of be like Steven's costume closet sale. So everything of that kind of stuff will be very affordable, and some of it's brand new, some of it's barely used, and I'll have my hair flowers and my art and some other pieces of jewelry for sale. And you can find me with, I'll be hanging out with Geisha Moth at her booth. Last year she was kind enough to show me a little corner, so this year we're going to be partnering up again, and I'll be with her selling my wares when I'm not teaching and not performing. So you can find me at Cues and Tattoos, vending, teaching workshops, and performing Friday night at the showcase. So can't wait to see you guys. I'm super excited. Yay!